Hi, I'm Unique Val, and I'm here to help you become your most orgasmic and potent self. I hope you'll enjoy the morning rasp in my voice. Anorgasmia is when we struggle to reach climax. And so there are different levels to anorgasmia. So first, you may be having trouble when with a partner. You may be having trouble with a specific partner. You may be having trouble when playing solo, or just kind of like all of the above. And as someone who struggled to climax with a partner, I found that learning how to unlock my vaginal orgasm was the best route to overcoming my anorgasmia, mainly because only relying on toys or clitoral stimulation took away from the experience, at least for me, and I wanted to really feel free during intimacy and not actually as focused on reaching climax. I wanted it to be more about the emotional and spiritual experience and connection I was having. This isn't to say that toys or focusing on clitoral stimulation is wrong, it just wasn't the right fit for me. I often couldn't actually coach my partners on exactly how to touch my body to help me get there anyways. So for me, unlocking my vaginal orgasm was empowering. It meant I knew what switches to flip inside of myself in order to reach climax. And a good enough partner was all that I needed. I didn't need a perfect partner who did absolutely everything right every single time. So the experience was more organic and fluid and fun and worry-free for me. And so if you're watching this video, you likely have similar reasons, or maybe you just want to have your first vaginal orgasm for the fun of it, but you might have similar reasons for why you're interested in having a vaginal orgasm. And unlocking that is something you can do. But before I get there, let's go over the 3 main components of every orgasm. Now, in my last anorgasmia video, I went through the 3 main components to every orgasm, and let's just quickly review it so you don't have to go back to that video. The first is pleasure, the ability to feel pleasure. I also refer to this as your pleasure sensitivity, your sensitivity to pleasure. This is just the foundation to any orgasmic experience. If you feel numb or you struggle to feel pleasure during sex, then chances are it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to orgasm, but it's not something that's permanent. In fact, many of my programs and my classes involve gentle resensitizing techniques where we are building up your pleasure sensitivity over time through somatic focus, through meditation, through breath work, and also healing practices, because sometimes we can have numbness because of an emotional tension that we're carrying or trauma. And that is actually why I usually say that the best way to address anorgasmia, like never having orgasmed, is actually to work with me one-on-one, because it's kind of a personal thing, and what we're each going through, the reason why that numbness is there is going to be different for each person. But I have an opportunity for you this week, this summer. Hence my summer attire, I'm very summery today, that will invite you to resensitize in a new way. But so that's the first component, is just pleasure, being able to feel good and react to sensual or sexual stimuli in such a way that it feels yummy and delicious in your body. And then the second component is movement. And this actually can show up in different ways. It can be the movement of the turn on or pleasure throughout your body. It could be the movement of the muscles, right? Contracting and releasing the pelvic floor muscles and vaginal muscles. It can be the flow of energy between partners, but there's some kind of movement, there's some kind of dynamic aspect that's causing this pleasure to be able to accumulate, to build up, and to percolate or contract in a really interesting and pleasurable way. And what you'll hear me say often is when we can bring our pleasure down to the energetic like the purely energetic basis, then this second component really is where the magic lies. It liberates your pleasure, because if you can move it throughout your body or feel it between a partner, infinite possibilities. But perhaps that is lessons for another day. Or, well, like I said, I have an opportunity for you this week, this summer, for you to come and learn some new techniques. Okay, and so the third component is the shift. It's a shift from your everyday state of mind into an altered state of consciousness. For some, or for many of us, it's a surrendered state. It's a feeling of release, of letting go. And if you ever joined me in P Academy or my more tantric focused programs, you'll also be able to experience this shift from an emotional or spiritual shift, where we are allowing ourselves to dive fully into, for example, anger or rage, or even grief or joy or bliss, right? And so in that way, your orgasm can take on a very interesting and unique flavor. For those who are struggling with anorgasmia, the invitation mainly is to allow your mind or allow yourself to surrender to the experience, whether it's the pleasurable buildup, or if you can reach a state of surrender where you're letting go and you're just being in your body, then that is the ultimate goal. Okay, now for the good stuff. I have a free class out right now on how to unlock your vaginal orgasm. It's a part of my Make Anywhere Orgasmic resource library, which you can access by simply entering your email address, and ta-da, here's a peek into that free class. Going to learn how to unlock your vaginal orgasm with me, Unique Belle. So first, we're going to be covering what are vaginal orgasms, how do they feel, and we're also going to be covering how you can actually retrain your nervous system to orgasm in new ways, including vaginally. And lastly, I'm going to be sharing with you the easy way to unlock your vaginal orgasm. And in this class today, we're also going to be debunking the myth about vaginal orgasms that unfortunately most women believe. Hopefully we can get that corrected here today. And we're also going to be debunking the elusive, quote unquote, elusive nature of pleasure beyond the clitoris. Because while yes, the clitoris is an important player when it comes to female pleasure, but it's actually not the only bundle of nerves that you should be paying attention to. And I'm also going to be debunking this common programming that many of us receive that says that our sexual practice is only about partnership and being able to be pleasing to our partners and others. Your sexual practice actually has so much more to offer you. So get ready to be literally mind blown. Feel free to take notes during this class if it helps you to keep up, but also I have a feeling this is going to click pretty quickly for you. And for the full technique on how to unlock your vaginal orgasm, I have created an ebook that is on sale this summer for just $19. This is the exact technique that I personally used, and it's perfect if you already have your clitoral orgasm unlocked. Then this will make it easy peasy. So if you're interested and you've always wanted to have G-spot orgasms or cervical orgasms, then go ahead and get that ebook. You can expect to see results within 2 to 6 weeks. It just depends on your sensitivity currently, and I go through all of that, all the different factors within the ebook. And this technique is taught in the full vaginal rejuvenation system, which is also on sale this summer. So if you want the full program of practices that address all 3 components, pleasure, movement, and the shift, then you'll want to get the full vaginal rejuvenation program, which is again on sale right now. But if you feel like you have pretty good sensitivity currently, you're not struggling with numbness, you don't necessarily need private coaching, though private coaching is available. to work through any internalized shame or trauma that is contributing to the numbness. If you feel like you don't need all that or you just want to try the technique, then definitely get the ebook. You can find it at uniquebell.com/vaginalbliss. And of course, all of these links are below in the description box, and I'll also pin them in the comments. This summer, this July, I've decided to help all my anorgasmic girlies, because this is what I struggled with as well. And part of the reason why I fell in love with this work was seeing how much I could heal my body and expand my pleasure capacity myself. And so yeah, sign up now. Address each of these 3 components: pleasure, that ability to feel; movement, that ability to build energy up, whether it's through movement of the muscles, the breath, energy. And then also you're going to be learning tantric breathwork practices that help you reach a surrendered state to let go and release into the experience. And if you would like to add private coaching, you absolutely can. All of these links are below in the description box, and I'll also pin them in the comments. Sign up now.